Okay, guys, so I know something happened at school. The internet went down, blah, 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 the same old thing. So let's look at this problem. The graph shows a relationship between the weight of an object on the moon and its weight on the earth. Write an equation for this relationship. So they gave you this part that's in bold, and they gave you this graph. And you can see on the line, it goes through the origin, so it's proportional, and they have some points labeled. So they expect you to be able to do this on your own. Step one, make a table. So since the x-axis is labeled earth weight, you're going to put earth weight first, and that's in pounds. The y-axis comes second, so the moon weight is the y-axis. And then these points, these numbers come from the points. So this point is 6, 1. So you have 6, 1. This point is 12, 2. 12, 2. This point is 18, 3. 18, 3. And the last one is 30 and 5. 30 and 5. Then they take each of these columns, and rather than use x over y, they put down y over x to find their ratios. So they're going to take the bottom number and put it as the numerator, and the top number, the x number, is your denominator. So of course 1/6 simply stays 1/6. 2/12 simplifies to 1/6. 3/18 simplifies to 1/6. 5/30 5/30 simplifies to 1/6. So all of these are the same. These are the constant of proportionality. They're all the same, and that's your K. Keep in mind that the equation you're looking at is y equals kx. So you need to find the K. K is 1/6. So here's your equation. You have to say what the x represents, because no place else on this problem do you know what the x represents, and yet we're going to use x as part of our answer. You have to describe the y, what it represents, because no place else on here is there a y, and you're using it in your final answer, so you have to introduce it. So x, of course, is the weight on Earth, and y, of course, is the weight on the moon. You found the k, replace k with 1/6, y equals 1/6 x. So that would be the answer. Okay, so here's an additional example, and I have that square. This square is covering up the answer. So what I want you to do is write the equation for the relationship. So start off by making a table, then use the reciprocals, and then do your y equals kx, replace the k with the constant of proportionality. So I'm going to pause here, and you also pause, and then we come back together. Okay, so I'm back, and this is what I ended up doing. So this is 3 100, 6 200, 9 300. This is 12 400, and I ran out of space. And this one is 18 600. I ran out of space. So I just did the first three, but hopefully you had, you did yours all together. So I took the first column, 100 divided by 3 is 33 1/3. Second column, 200 divided by 6, 33 1/3. Third column, 400 divided by 9, 33 1/3. Then you'd have 12 divided by 400, 33 1/3. And you'd have 18 divided by 600, 33 1/3. So your K, K equals 33 1/3. And then the answer would be, ta-da, y equals 33 1/3 x. I'm not really too crazy about this being 33 1/3. It could have made a nicer problem, but take what you give them. Okay, move on. Alrighty, of course, one of my all-time favorites is the your turn. So keep in mind that in the your turn, they give you the problem, blah, blah, blah. Here's the graph. They ask you a question. What does the point 5, 6 represent? Well, here's 5, it's on time. Here's 6, it's on distance. And then what is the equation of the relationship? So you have to use a table, find your K, and then write your equation. And you should identify your variables too. You should have enough space on this one. I didn't have much space on the last one, so I kind of skipped over it. But I shouldn't have. I should have made space. So regardless, pause, give it a shot. Remember, just talk about what what 5, 6 represents on the table, on the graph, blah, and then make a table, find your K, tell me what X represents, tell me what Y represents, and then give me the equation. Okay, I'll be right back. You pause. Pause. Alrighty, so because the 6 is on the distance in miles and the 5 is on the time in hours, that tells me that he hiked 6 miles in 5 hours. So as long as you tell me about 6 miles, 5 hours, you can have 5 hours. You can say he hiked 5 hours, he hiked 6 miles. Doesn't matter to me as long as you tell me what it represents. The equation, so I made a table based upon the points that they had on the graph. I used those points. Then I took them and used the reciprocal. So 6 over 5. 6 over 5 stays the same. 12 over 10. Oh, wait, I messed that one up. How embarrassing. Let me fix that. 12 over 10. Okay, come back. 12 over 10 is 6/5. 18/15 is 6/5. So these three are 6/5. That's your K number. So there's your K number. Y, it should be lowercase y. Y equals 6/5 X. And that would be your equation. Make sure you identify, let X be time in hours and Y be distance in miles. See time in hours for your X-axis, distance in miles for your Y-axis. Okay, so I also put out 3.1, lesson 3.1 in my HRW. Some of you have still not done the Are You Ready from last Wednesday in my HRW. The last day I will take any work from lesson 3 is the day of the lesson 3 test, which we do not have yet. But when that is determined, no more work for lesson 3 after that test date. Whether you're absent or not, that is the last day. Thanks, guys.